Hey everyone, Supercell Celeste here. Today is Monday, January 29th, and today I'm just going to be looking at some weather going on across the world. Any interest in weather? Probably looking at all the continents. I'm going to be just using the European model today and going over the weather over the next 5 to 7 days about. We start off here in Europe where there's going to be a pretty potent low pressure system. Actually, I should say what's called a bombogenesis over the next few days. We have, because you'll see, this is by Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, even into Europe's time. You can see a 963 millibar low pressure system located right here, north of Scotland, bringing a pretty good amount of rain into Scotland. And this storm is going to be moving into Norway, where you can see it deepens from 963 millibars, where it's forecasted to deepen rapidly down into the 930 millibars, 938, the European is saying. Not a whole lot of precipitation with this, but there will be lots of high winds. The good news is that this storm stays mostly over water, so the majority of its highest winds will stay over the water, but coastal Scotland and coastal Norway will get the strongest winds out of this, and I'll show you that. I'll show you guys that right now. Looking at wind gusts, let's go into Wednesday afternoon. These are in kilometers per hour. You could see the strongest winds stay over the water in this area, north of Scotland and off the coast of Norway. But northern Scotland and coastal Scotland should get wind gusts into the 100 kilometers per hour range, or 60 miles per hour. And as this storm moves into Norway, you can see the strongest winds still stay over the water, but central Norway, coastal Norway, into the western, southwestern coast of Norway should get wind gusts of 100 kilometers per hour, or 60 miles per hour equivalent, while the coastal areas of southwestern Norway should get wind gusts of about 80 kilometers per hour, or about 45 miles per hour. Strong enough to bring down some trees and power lines to these areas. And as that storm moves into the Nordics, it weakens, and the wind shouldn't be as much of a problem for Sweden and Finland. Just looking at some precipitation totals with this. These are in millimeters. Just going out over the next few days. It's not a whole lot of rain for parts of the UK. And the heaviest amount should be across coastal Norway and the mountains and northern Norway, where there could be up to 50 to 100 millimeters of rain, precipitation, or about 2 inches of rain. In terms of temperatures for Europe, let's look at temperatures. These are in degrees Celsius. You have still very warm pattern for winter going on over the next few days. See, this would be tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures as high as 10 degrees Celsius across much of Western Europe, even into Germany and Netherlands and Belgium. Even way up into Finland and Norway, high temperatures over 0 degrees Celsius, or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. You have very warm patterns still going on in Europe. Not much snow. And just going out letting this play out over the next days into the weekend. You can see very warm temperatures still all across Europe. A little colder across Eastern Europe, but even then, temperatures of only -5 degrees Celsius in Ukraine, Russia, Finland. Not bad at all. You have to go way up into the northern Finland, the Lapland, to even get temperatures down into the -20 degrees Celsius range. Yeah, and just going out all the way into early next week, just very warm pattern going on. The only place that stays cold really is Iceland. Usually when Europe is warm, Iceland and Greenland are very cold. And the next place I want to show you guys, will go off into Asia next. Start off with the precipitation going on. Overall, Asia's weather right now is very quiet. Not a whole lot going on at all, really. Just letting this play out over the next few days. By Wednesday, could see some rain across eastern China with some snow to the north of that. And then by early next week into the weekend, the models have been hinting at a pretty potent low pressure system developing across eastern China, which could bring some squally weather into areas of like Shanghai, and maybe a potential heavy snowstorm possible for like northeastern China, including Beijing. This would also bring very heavy rains to South Korea and Japan. With you could see the snow to the north of that, into North Korea and parts of China, northeastern China. But like I said, that's a week away, so it's still a lot of time to see what goes on with that. And then in terms of temperatures across Asia, nothing too out of the ordinary. You could see Siberia still very cold, negative 40 degrees Celsius. And for the most part, temperatures aren't too anomalous for this area. You could argue that maybe Kazakhstan is a bit warmer than what it should be for this time of year. Only around negative 10 degrees Celsius, negative 5 degrees Celsius. I'll circle it here. Across this area here. Kazakhstan is usually extremely cold this time of year, and negative 10 degrees Celsius is not too bad. Pretty warm for them. And overall, not seeing any major cold blasts for eastern China either, or in Korea or Japan. The next place we'll go to is Australia, where they're still having some big heat going on in these days. These are temperatures, degrees Celsius. We'll just go over the next few days here. Like, for example, today, this afternoon, temperatures of 40 degrees Celsius, over 40 degrees Celsius, or 104 degrees Fahrenheit across many areas of the interior of Australia. And you can see that as this plays out, it happens for many days in a row, even potentially intensifying by the end of the week. This would be Thursday afternoon in Australia. You can see temperatures over 40 degrees Celsius across much of the western Australia, all the way down to the coast, including Perth. 38 degrees in Perth. And temperatures as high as 45 degrees Celsius, or around 113 degrees Fahrenheit, across far western Australia possible. Very extreme heat possible for Australia this week. And as we play this out, the majority of it does stay across Western Australia, where temperatures look even as high as nearly 50 degrees Celsius possible, or around 120 degrees Fahrenheit by the weekend. And then by next week, the southern portions should probably cool down with some cold fronts moving through, and the heat should stay to the north. Yeah, but overall, this should happen not out of the ordinary, obviously, for the deserts of Australia to get this hot. But once you get temperatures up to 50 or 45, that is extreme for Australia, even for Australia, especially once it gets to the coast. Next, we'll go to Africa, where it's nothing out of the ordinary either happening much. We're looking at temperatures first in degrees Celsius. You can see Sahara stays pretty cold. Temperatures at night times in the Sahara still getting cold down into the single digits, while the equatorial regions obviously are hot, staying into the mid-30s degrees Celsius. But by the weekend and early next week, there could be a potential heat wave developing across the south, especially for parts of Botswana and Mozambique, where forecasts are showing temperatures potentially reaching 40 degrees Celsius. We'll see. But yeah, very, very big heat wave potentially possible for that area by this weekend into next week. And then the next place we'll go to is, let's go to North America next. We'll be looking at temperatures again first. This is something interesting going on because you can see Alaska and Greenland are very, very cold right now. They have big troughs over both Alaska and Greenland. You can see temperatures well below zero, well below 0 degrees Celsius, down into the -20s, -30s, even -40s across Alaska and interior Greenland. And usually when that happens, you get very warm air to develop in between that, which is exactly what's going to be happening this week. As we go into tomorrow and into Wednesday, you could see the freezing line is way up north into Canada, way up north up here even. The temperatures over 0 degrees possible across almost all of Manitoba, or excuse me, not Manitoba, Saskatchewan and Alberta, and even reaching over 0 degrees Celsius possible into the southern portions of the Northwest Territories. Very far north for late January, early February to get temperatures that warm. And even portions of southern Saskatchewan and southern Alberta, temperatures reaching as high as 10 degrees Celsius in this area. Extremely warm for this time of year. And remember, just a couple weeks ago, this same area was down to -50, -40 to -50 degrees Celsius. Yeah, so major turnaround in this area. But that's being caused by the big troughs that developed over Alaska and Greenland, bringing warm air straight north into southern and central Canada. And then the last area I want to look at is South America, where we're looking at temperatures again in degrees Celsius, where Argentina is going to be starting their heat wave this week. You can see this is playing out in the next couple of days. Let's go to like Wednesday afternoon. You can see temperatures reaching 35 to 40, even over 40 degrees Celsius across much of northern and central Argentina and into Paraguay. Also, could be getting some pretty big heat across Venezuela too, up here. Temperatures nearing 38 to 40 degrees Celsius up there too, which is around 100 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. And then over the next days beyond this, let's just play this out. You can see the heat wave continues across Argentina endlessly each day. And then even by early next week, we could even see temperatures approaching 35 to 40 degrees for the capital of Argentina, Buenos Aires. And the extreme heat continues across Venezuela. And another area I'm looking at is far eastern Brazil. In this area, temperatures over 35 degrees possible. But overall, I would expect some record temperatures across central Argentina because normally we don't get temperatures near 40 degrees Celsius for this area of central Argentina. That's getting kind of far south to get such extreme heat. But overall, that's all I got for today. I hope this video was informative and just looking at some weather going on across the world. And yeah, I hope you guys have a nice day.